Today, we're stepping into the ring, but we're not just talking about boxing here. We're going to explore a really powerful metaphor from the sport's golden age that, believe it or not, sheds a surprising new light on the conflicts shaping our world today, from geopolitics all the way to the rise of AI. Okay, so at first glance, you look at these two things, boxing and war, and you think, no way, these are worlds apart. One's a sport, with rules and a referee. The other, well, it's total chaos with the highest stakes imaginable. But the source material for this explainer argues they actually share a fundamental DNA, the raw, primal strategies that define any conflict. So first, you've got the infighter. Think of them as the aggressor, right? Their strategy is pretty simple, constant, relentless forward pressure. They want to get in close, wear you down, and just win through sheer force. The perfect archetype for this style? The legendary champion Smokin' Joe Frazier.
And then, on the other side of the ring, you have the outfighter. This is the strategist, the artist. They don't rely on brute force. Nope. They're all about speed, distance, and perfect timing. The goal is to outmaneuver their opponent, make a miss, and then land that killer counterpunch. A style absolutely perfected by the one and only Muhammad Ali.
So what happens when you throw these two totally opposite styles into the ring together? Well, you get one of the most thrilling, electric eras in sports history, the golden age of heavyweight boxing back in the 1970s.
And man, this era was a total roller coaster of titans rising and falling. In '71, you had the infighter, Frazier, handing the outsider, Ali, his first ever defeat. But then, boom, just 2 years later, this new powerhouse, George Foreman, just steamrolls Frazier. And that set the stage for the ultimate showdown, Ali versus Foreman in 1974.
I mean, people were just floored when Foreman completely dismantled the super durable Joe Frazier. That famous call from the announcer, it perfectly captured the shock everyone felt. All of a sudden, Foreman looked like this unstoppable, almost terrifying force of nature.
So the matchup was set. A fight that felt like something out of a myth, right? It's happening in Kinshasa, Zaire. You've got the master outfighter, Ali, who a lot of people thought was past his prime, against the younger, stronger, seemingly invincible champion, George Foreman. Seriously, almost nobody gave Ali a prayer.
But instead of trying to match Foreman's power, which would have been suicide, Ali did something absolutely brilliant, something nobody expected. He didn't dance away from the power, he invited it. He leaned back on the ropes, executing the now famous rope-a-dope, just absorbing Foreman's blows, letting the champion completely exhaust himself, all while he waited and waited for the perfect moment. And then it happened. 8th round. A gassed Foreman slows down, and that's when Ali just explodes off the ropes with a lightning-fast combination and knocks him out. It was this stunning victory of strategy over pure strength, proving that the smarter fighter, not just the stronger one, could win the day.
It's an incredible story of athletic genius, right? But this brings us to the big question, the one at the very heart of the source material. Why does a 50-year-old boxing match matter now? Because, as it turns out, this isn't just a story about boxing, not at all. It's a powerful metaphor for the world we're living in right now. The argument goes like this. Today, the entire globe has basically become a boxing ring, and we're seeing nations and their leaders adopting these exact same aggressive infighting styles, playing out this really dangerous global contest. You know how Ali was famous for his trash talk to get inside his opponent's heads? Well, the source draws a direct line from that to the constant war of words we see from world leaders today. It frames all this rhetoric as a modern form of pre-fight intimidation, turning geopolitics into this tense, high-stakes spectacle. And here's where it gets dangerous, according to the source. We all get hooked on the political theater, the words, the threats, the drama. But it distracts us from the very real human cost of conflict. While the world is watching the show, these aggressive infighter leaders are driving us toward actual catastrophe.
And now, a powerful and revolutionary new technology has entered the ring, one that is fundamentally changing the nature of this global fight. This brings us to a huge and kind of scary paradox. The promise of AI was a new golden age, a tool to solve our biggest problems. But the reality, the source warns, is that this revolutionary tech is being sharpened into a weapon. It's becoming a tool to perfect our oldest and most destructive habit, war. So instead of lifting humanity up, AI is being used to make this global infighting more efficient and, frankly, way more terrifying. Nations are getting locked into these rapid-fire cycles of attack and counterattack, using AI-powered weapons to trade blows with a speed and precision that were unthinkable just a few years ago.
This disturbing reality leads us to the final and maybe the most urgent question that the source poses for all of us.
Is there a rope-a-dope for geopolitics? In a world of constant AI-fueled aggression, can we find our own moment of strategic patience? Can we develop an outfighting exit strategy that relies on wisdom and de-escalation instead of just matching blow for blow?
The source seems to think so. It suggests that real strength isn't just the power to fight harder. It's having the strength and wisdom to endure, to absorb the pressure, and to wait for that one critical moment, that 8th round opening, to stop the fight and finally pivot toward peace.
And so we end on this poignant thought. It's a recognition of the danger we face, for sure, but it's also a profound hope that, just like that miracle in Kinshasa 50 years ago, a moment of brilliant, world-changing strategy is still possible. Thanks for digging into this with us.